Oh yeah! You gotta get sweaty! You gotta get sweaty in here! It's time to get sweaty!
This video is brought to you by CyberGameway, with an emphasis on exposing streamers of all types, as well as exploring business relationships with partnered websites and service providers. CyberGameway is the place you want to be for streaming gamers who want that sub bump. To apply for membership or sponsorship, head over to cybergameway.com. Alright, so two things have happened since when last we spoke. One, I changed out the fans. The other ones, they're just fine, but these are also ARGB, so they match this. And secondly, I changed out the RAM for, instead of Corsair Vengeance, I switched to the XPG stuff that I actually have in mind. And these are faster, and they're also RGB. He wasn't too terribly concerned with RGB to begin with, but, you know, I figure, why not? And so I asked him, he said sure, so we did that. So that is what's happened. As you can see, I've already wired up the fans. And then I run into another hiccup, because these fans run in the same hub as this, which is cool. Unfortunately, running the top fans anywhere around here, I would have liked to have run them down this way. I might be able to do that. The hiccup, though, is I don't know if simply putting the hub here would fit in the door, and I don't think it would. It's just too far raised. So I have to find a way to run the cables from the top fans. So what I'm thinking of doing is, I'm still going to run these the usual way, which is down this way. I'm going to use my double stick tape. But what I'll do, and now that I've got the idea, I'll run these fans along the top here, and then I'll just put the hub here on top, which I think might do the trick. I was going, oh, will that reach? Yeah, see, now these fans won't reach because I went this way. So now I'll have to take off these fans and frack. I'll have to take off these fans and reface them, which sucks. Well, hold on. Yeah, I'm going to have to run them back up the other way. That sucks. EKSA introduces their new AirJoy Pro headphones. Weighing in at only 160 grams, the AirJoy Pro offers enthusiast-grade 7.1 digital surround sound while providing maximum comfort at a fraction of the cost of a major brand name series. For more information, visit eksa.net.
Alright, so that's cool. Gotta be careful with this paint. So now that I've got that going, I'm going to run these. And take these back out. I'm going to run all of them. Well, that one I cannot. This one I can. I'll run it out the back of the motherboard, and then I'll just have to, and then I'll just have to be careful about where the CPU cable is going. I will have to be mindful. I'm sensing a small issue. I don't think it'll be a problem. The motherboard might get in the way of the CPU cable. I don't think it will if I run it high enough and flatten the cables behind the motherboard. If I can go like that, I should be okay. What I might actually end up doing is I'll just connect the CPU cable as I'm installing it and then try to run it behind it that way. I think that's the best way to go. I wish there was a way to get, like, if I had sensed this issue before, what I probably would do next time is I suppose I can do that now. Oh, I don't want to drill them out. What I would probably end up doing next time is not securing in these rivets, running the fan cables, and then riveting that one right there. So I could run the fan cables behind the motherboard plate, then rivet that in. But as it is, what I can do is I can throw down a strip of tape and just run them along the top. So that is what we're going to do. Oh, that would have been a kick-ass idea too. I will do that instead. I'm going to take off these 3 screws here, run the cables above the shell, and we'll do it like that. That's a much better idea. I have done a bit of cable management. This is really cool. So as you saw before, basically I mounted the hub here. The tape on the actual hub wasn't that good, so I got some Gorilla stuff for this. Everything's running this way, and then when it's standing up you won't see it at all, which is nice. So now what we're going to do is almost the last step. You install the motherboard. So I need my motherboard screws. And this is tricky too because I have to run the CPU cable over the motherboard before it gets in there. And so I'm still on the fence as to what hole to run it through, this one or this one. I'm gonna try and do this one. As I am installing the motherboard, I have to bring the cable up and over. Up and at them. The trick will be getting it over, because I can flatten it enough, but you see how it has to go over this standoff. It has to go over, it has to come down, and then it has to be flat enough to fold over, which has to go that way. That way? For those of you who don't know, because I do that a lot, that's from Willow. It's a really old Disney movie. So I just have to hide it. I just have to cram it in between these fans here. Make the cables go as flat as a tapeworm. I think I can do it. I just gotta... Yeah, like that. I think I can do it because that's enough clearance. This all has to go up to this hub here. And so the PWM and the RGB have to go up. I'm gonna go up and over the motherboard. The cables will go up through the motherboard or through the VRM like this, and then it'll go up over the motherboard, and then I'll use the standoffs as a way to keep them under.
Yes! It went. It went. Now to plug it in. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna be able to plug. I'm gonna have to pull this out again, but it sits there. It's sitting there, and it looks great. There's a fan cable coming from this fan here that I've run up over the top. So I'm actually gonna run the CPU cable through there, so it's got a nice amount of room, and then I'll have it curl over and plug into the motherboard. And in we go, I think. Yep, we're in. But now as I'm moving the motherboard, I'm going to pull it and make sure that it's still flat up here and also not in the way of the I/O. Oh, that's... Can he do it? Oh, he can. It's in. So now I just gotta make it go. Oh, the mouse pad. All right, now where is the PWM controller? This is so intense right now. My heart is racing. Okay, so everything that's coming off of this can go just around like that. And then this, oh, there it is. Okay, we're good. And we're in. I am a happy guy. Okay, giant huge issue solved. Okay, I got it. Yes! Now we're gonna hide this cable up in the fans too. So basically all the cables, where applicable, are up in the ceiling fans, for lack of a better term. On a regular ATX motherboard, there are a lot of, there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws. This is the one that's going to suck the most. Holy crap. First try. Okay. RAM's going back in. The RAM goes in which slots? That's right. The second and the fourth ones. Good. We have clicks. And now the GPU will go into the top PCI slot. Good. Now I need screens. For all you Wish naysayers, once again, I made a video about this a long time ago, it seems like. Wow. For all you Wish naysayers who, think it's just a bunch of hooey, I got these on Wish for $1. I got 30 of them. And they do the job. I mean, like I've said many times, if you're not an idiot, you can get some good stuff on Wish. It doesn't need to be much, and if you're not shopping for a freaking GPU or a motherboard, you will find a gold mine. Oh, you can also get GPU standoffs. Like you can get a GPU stand on there on Wish for pretty good price. I think it was like $4, and if you wanted an RGB, it was like 15. So yeah, if you're not an idiot, if you're not trying to make jokes about, oh, I'm gonna build an entire Wish PC, well. If you're gonna do that, then fine. But if you're all you're doing is just making fun of Wish, well, you're kind of being a dick about it, because you don't need to. Now that we've got the motherboard installed, and a lot of people like to do this, first, but whatever. The power supply is going in. This is an RGB power supply from GameMax. They're kind of a newer company to the United States market. Oh wow, that's heavy. They're a newer company to the United States market. You can get this one. It's a 750 watt power supply. You can get this one on Amazon for 125 American dollars. And I've used these in a couple of builds now, the Bray Road one, and no problems in that one whatsoever. So now we will put it in. Just to make, I'm not going to screw it in yet. I just want to make sure that I have room to run all the motherboard control cables. And I do, so I'm going to take this out again. So I'm going to take this out again and put in all the motherboard cables. Alright, so we've had dinner now. I think at this point, all I'm going to do is, I thought I would run these cables out this way, but the power supply shroud that I made sort of doesn't have this. I wanted to keep it streamlined, so I think I'm just going to run it out the top of this along with these USB and USB.
Oh, that's so gross.
What?
COVID.
Okay. So once again, since I didn't shave the power supply shroud, I'm just going to run everything over this way, and so this will go this way, and this is another case where I had the idea of cutting a hole in the power supply shroud like I did with Tango. I didn't do that this time because and when you see it, you'll understand. It just looks gorgeous. It's the best one I've ever made. So I'm just going to run everything through this one, except for the HD audio. I can run everything out the side this way, and it's got enough length. And then I can run the GPU cable through here. So it'll have that kind of nice curve to it. It won't be perfect. In fact, I almost bought, this way. I almost bought one of those EVGA cable corners that they make for GPUs. I almost bought one because they're really cheap now. But I honestly I want cable to go. I want cable to be seen because with all the color dynamic going on, I think it'll really work, and it's gonna look really nice. So with all that going, basically all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get all the cables installed. I'm gonna run everything where it needs to go. I'm gonna get out the double stick tape and delete all the cable combs because I'm just one of those people. I don't like these. So if I don't have to use them, I'm not going to. Except the Cool Force ones, which I am going to be using on a lot of projects because they just look cool. So that's coming. But for a lot of stuff, unless I really need to use them, I am not going to use cable combs. So I'm going to train the cables, I'm going to run the double stick tape, and it's going to look super amazing. So with all that, the last thing we have to do is install the power supply, get Windows installed, get all the drivers updated, to get all that stuff going on, and make sure everything works, which it does. And for that, we're just going to kick it back upstairs for the big reveal.
We are all evil in some form or another.
So here it is, and as you can see, it looks fucking spectacular. Very, very happy with this. And as I said, this was supposed to be the first project I worked on with CyberGameway, and I really wish it had come to fruition a bit earlier. However, things being what they were, I couldn't be happier with this build. Technology changes, and so with advancements in lighting and things like that, I'm kind of glad I waited. Yeah, I'm glad I waited. As you can see, even with these bright freaking lights shining on me, you can't really see a whole lot, and I love that. The paint is what does this, and it really, really just makes the whole thing shine. Anything that you can see, it just makes the rest of the paint just that much worth it. And so I'm just very, very pleased with it. As fragile as it is, I couldn't be happier with it because it just looks spectacular. And the stuff that is reflecting light, as you can see, the accents and things like that, it just really makes everything pop. Because as you can see on the faceplate from here, you can't see any of the light coming out. And that's why I love this paint. I was totally happy that I kickstarted this because there's just nothing like it. It just looks spectacular. He's gonna have to wear rubber gloves whenever he moves it. However, it looks like this. As you can see, all the accenting like on the plexiglass panels and on the power supply shroud, all of it matches. I was very happy to do something like that because this is some of my best work. With the power supply shroud, as you can see, it just matches everything. And when he sees it, he's going to f***ing flip. And I can't wait. It's gonna look, oh my lord, I just can't wait. I'm very happy to have this done. As is my method, I've deleted any zip ties or cable combs that I just didn't need to use. And the double stick tape is working it like magic. The GPU cable, as you can see, it doesn't curl downward, it goes to the right. And it doesn't hang, it doesn't sag or anything like that because of the tape. And I've done the same thing with the motherboard cable. You can see here, and I've also done it in the back so I can train it to go down. And I did it with the case power cables and all that stuff. Just looks fucking spectacular. Cannot wait for the client to see this. He's just gonna fucking flip. It might be fragile as all hell. It might have been expensive as all hell. I could not be happier that I kickstarted this guy. Stuart Semple, Black 3.0. Go check it out because it will make whatever you're working on look amazing. And if you put this in the if you put this in a properly lit man cave or an office or something, it's gonna look like a hole in the universe, except for the parts that you can actually see reflecting light. And as you can see, it just looks really, really cool. The Reaper scythe on top is what does it for me. And then I've got the 3 stripes over here. I have this thing with the number 3, even though 9 is my favorite number. So yeah, with everything going, I would have liked to work with a bit more modern technology, but as I said before, the client didn't really need it to do a whole lot. And my builds are all about how it looks and how, it pleases the eye. Not so much how it, crams Crysis. Not big on that. I want people to just really, really enjoy the beauty of this. And the Carbide series is one of my favorite series of cases. I'll probably make more with them because, as I said with the Blandolf video, the faceplate is what does it for me. It's got this sort of simplistic, timeless, brutalist architecture look to it. And as you can see right now, the paint's doing its job because you can't see any light coming out from the faceplate. Faceplate words. So yeah, everything is just looking phenomenal. I'm very happy with this. I would have liked to have really been able to do this as my first build for CyberGameway, but stuff happens. And with the advancements in technology, like with the RGB lights and stuff, I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna get this wrapped up and get it to the client, and he's gonna f***ing flip, and I'm gonna be very happy, and I'm also gonna get paid, which is good because I have a wedding to save for. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Bye. I think he's just going to be wowed. God damn it. End it. Motherboard! What? Don't turn on! Go away!
Nobody's home! Nobody's home!